This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. This is my preview of Leinster versus Northampton Saints in the Champions Cup semi-final. This is the big match this weekend, and I've entitled this video History, because there's a lot of history between Leinster and the Saints, but also obviously between Irish and English rugby sides. There's a huge amount of excitement around this game. I'm sure many of you already know that the game sold out in a day, and sold out to the tune of 82,000 plus tickets for Croke Park. And so it's going to be an absolutely huge event. One of the most exciting things about the game is the venue itself, and Croke Park has taken on kind of a life of its own over the years, and this is only the second rugby match to ever be played there. And the last one was in 2009 when Munster played Leinster, and Leinster won that game in the semi-final of the European Cup, as it was then, and went on to win their first title. And it was a kind of changing of the guard, if you like. I had some fantastic comments on my last video about it, and some great first-hand accounts of how things panned out that day. And this is the next match, so I mean, it's quite the cauldron to be going into for Northampton Saints, and they better be ready for it. Although it doesn't seem like a neutral venue, on paper it is, because that's not where Leinster usually play. And the reason they're not playing in the old Lansdowne is that it's being used for one of the soccer cups, the Europa Cup, I think. And so they're playing in the mighty Croke Park. So it seems like an incredible advantage for Leinster, but yeah, it's regarded as a neutral ground. But that's surely going to play a part in kind of the drama which I foresee happening in this game. So Leinster are primed and ready to go, no doubt. They're going to have a huge amount of support in the stadium there. But how are Saints going to fare? So they have been preparing somewhat for the encounter. They've had Eamon Highland, who is a member of their squad, giving a brief rundown of the history of Croke Park, and I went to look into it myself, and yeah, it's quite how can you say, colourful. I don't want to get into the ins and outs of it, but yeah, there's certainly going to be a lot of passion at play there. But they said he'd give a 10-minute speech about like the history of the stadium, and it's obviously a condensed history, and the English lads think they've got a Finn Smith, the outside half, was one to comment on it that I saw in the media, and he said like we think we have a kind of an idea of what's going to occur on the day, but I don't know. I think they're underestimating kind of the cauldron that they're going to go into. So I'm not sure they're properly prepared for it. I don't know whether they'll have like a follow-up on that. But as I say, the venue is such a character in this match, and it's going to be hard to discount. As for the history between these two teams, Leinster and Saints have played each other 10 times, I think, and Leinster have come out on top like nine times out of the 10. So they have a clear advantage against Northampton Saints. They've actually had a dust-up in the final as well, which Leinster came out on top. But it was a tough old match with Leinster making a second half comeback. So great history, storied history between these two clubs, but Leinster definitely with the advantage history-wise. As for team news, James Ryan is definitely out. He's had a problem with his arm and he's gone into surgery, so he definitely won't be available for the starting lineup on Saturday. But good news for Leinster is that Ringrose and Jimmy O'Brien will be back. I think the centre that came in to fill in for Ringrose did really well, Jamie Osborne. So he'll be unlucky to lose his place, but I think that he will. If Ringrose is fully fit, then I can't see them leaving out an international level centre, you know, on such a huge occasion. And yeah, I think Ringrose will be raring to go, because he's missed a lot of rugby this year, let's be honest. And as good a player as he is, consistency is such a key factor, and he'll want to get a few minutes in, particularly before the South African tour this summer. So if Ringrose is fit, I think he'll definitely go in. As for fullback, 15, Keenan is a doubt. He's got a hip injury, his nagging hip injury, and not sure whether he'll be fit for the match. They have a few options there, actually. Frawley, and I think one of the players who played really well was Lama. I picked him out particularly in the first half against La Rochelle. I thought he did really well and really upped the tempo of the team. But yeah, it's going to be a tough call at 15. So yeah, but Leinster not looking too bad injury wise, because of course I'm sure the Leinster fans know that they rested a bunch of players over the last few weeks in the URC. They sent the kind of shadow squad down to South Africa for a couple of weeks to play the South African teams in the URC, and they got thumped, which may play a part in the flow of the game in terms of just the confidence. But most of the players didn't even go down there, so it's an interesting one because of the scheduling, and they're crossing over like the end of the URC season and the kind of the playoffs in the Champions Cup. They coinciding with each other, so that's something they're going to have to look at in the future, because it devalues either competition, like with the Bulls or with Leinster. Fielding's kind of not second. I wouldn't say second teams, don't want to disrespect the players, but not the strongest teams then, you know what I mean? So that's something they're definitely going to look at. Northampton Saints, on the other hand, have had a good couple of weeks in the Gallagher Premiership, if it's still called that. They did get a win, and then they lost narrowly to the Harlequins, who are also in the semi-finals of this cup. So yeah, they've been kind of the standout for the English sides this year. A lot of the backbone of the new look kind of England team are from Northampton. Because of the way they play, it wasn't like in a traditional England style, so they didn't get picked for a while. But now a few of the boys have come in, and they're doing well. But they have a couple of injury worries themselves. Ludlam in the back row may be out, and Slightholm, who looks very, very good on the wing, he might be out too. So they're doubts for Northampton. But they have a very good attacking backline. And of course, I'm really looking forward to Alex Mitchell versus Jameson Gibson Park. That's going to be a battle for the ages. I can't wait to see how that goes. I'd back Gibson Park, but Mitchell is a good player and he's in great form at the moment. So it's going to be an absolutely cracking match. I think Croke Park, it being played at Croke Park with the history it has, particularly for Leinster as well, I think it's going to be the deciding factor. I can see Leinster going out to an early lead, and then Northampton pulling it back a little bit. Leinster will probably get the jitters a little bit, and I think they'll pull through at the end though. So I'm going to say a 2-point victory to Leinster. I think it'll be that close. I think Northampton will give a very good account of themselves. Leinster will dominate in the first half, and Northampton will pull it back in the second. I think Finn Smith, maybe coming of age for him. I don't think he's ever played in such a big match, and it's a really exciting game. A lot of the English internationals, a lot of the Irish internationals, and that's all we can hope for, really. So let me know what you think will be the result. I also did a video about the Leinster signing of that famous New Zealander, one of the Barrett brothers, probably the best one out of the three, maybe, I'm not sure, but check it out if you're so inclined, and thank you very much for watching. All right, cheers, bye-bye.